Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So do me a favor, hit subscribe, watch, comment. We want your comments and share with your friends because, again, the nonsense, it's not stopping. I want to start this by saying, first and foremost, to the Midas Touch Network, where this is being shown, where my political beatdown program with my co-host Ben Meiselas and I speak every Tuesday and Thursday, for hitting 4 million subscribers. And the reason that's important is because the community is growing. It is really growing, and it's going to be important for holding accountability in 2026. Now, on Political Beatdown the other day, Ben and I actually spoke about the way that Trump is speaking about and to our allies. We're talking about our allies, not our adversaries here, our allies. And he sees some of our allies as weak. And then, of course, he sees our adversaries. He sees these other countries like Russia and Hungary, and he idolizes their leaders. Why? For their bully-like tactics, for their I don't give a shit belief system. We also go on and we speak about Trump's promise of doing everything, just doing everything in 24 hours, and how in reality, it obviously takes more than 24 hours, for example, to build a car factory in America, to build any factory, to build anything. You can't just snap a finger and say in 24 hours, I'm going to get it done. Play the clip.
What do you make of Trump constantly attacking our allies from the Oval Office and uplifting Putin and praising Putin over and over again? I mean,
I have the answer for you.
Please.
What's going on is Trump sees our allies as weak. Canada, as far as military is concerned, he sees them as weak. Why? Because the entire Canadian military is something like 68,000 people. That's their entire military. That's their army. All right. They never had to rely upon a military, simply because, as Trump points out, and he's accurate about it, they rely upon America for that type of protection. They are a border country. They are an ally. They are a friend. They are our closest friend, right? So he sees them as being weak. Why? Well, because we have 2.4 million in our freestanding military. Not to mention our military might is second to none in the world. But who's part of that next tier? Well, of course, you have Israel. They're an ally. But you also have Russia. You have China, right? You have North Korea. You have all of these countries that have nukes that Trump thinks are strong. They're powerful, right? That they dedicate a substantial portion of their GDP to military. And all of a sudden, it's almost like he's playing the movie War Games. You see, that's the problem also when you allow Trump to go and fly on Air Force One, or before during the campaign on Air Force One. They turn around, they start a movie. And all of a sudden in his mind, he starts saying to himself, hey, you know what? This isn't so bad. Like, I guarantee you he saw the movie The Purge, because all of a sudden, you may remember, he comes up with an idea. Maybe one day out of the year, we should allow our Americans, our patriotic MAGA Americans, to hunt down illegals, right? And that way it would keep them out. I mean, this is just crazy talk. It's literally crazy talk. He knows that Italy is not going to attack America, no matter what he says. He knows France isn't going to attack America. He certainly knows Canada is not going to attack America. So what do you do when you're a bully? You pick on them. But you know who might start a real fight? Yeah, Russia, right? China, North Korea shooting off rockets, right? Little rocket man shooting them all off. He's not fighting with them. And again, it's the style that he likes. You're talking about like that Viktor Orban style. He likes that, where somebody is a bully to their own country, and they end up doing whatever it is that they want to do, which is what Donald is doing right now with all of these executive orders and a Sharpie. He has absolutely turned our country right now upside down. Yeah, you know what we're living through right now, my friend? You know what we're living through? We're living through what's called reality. Reality in the fact that when Trump tells you that he could do it in 24 hours, how many things did you hear him say that can be done in 24 hours? 24? 24 things that take anybody years. He talks about how by putting these tariffs now on Canada, on Mexico, on China, on every country now, every single country, there will be a tariff if there is a tariff on us, whether it's a VAT or a tariff or any sort of tax on American products going in or coming out. It doesn't make a difference. An equal, retaliatory, reciprocal tax. And what does he turn around and tell us? He tells us that this will bring manufacturing back to America. Sounds plausible to me, right? If I had a company and I wanted to avoid this, incredibly expensive tariff or tax, whether it's 25% or 200%, sure, I'm going to build a factory right here in America. Well, you really believe that bullshit? Because I don't buy it for a second, and here's the reason why. Let's assume, as Trump likes to talk, it has to do with the automotive industry, that he doesn't want to see cars manufactured in Mexico any longer. He wants them back here in America to be manufactured. There's only one problem. You got to build the plant. Anybody have an idea how long it takes to build an automotive plant? Think about that for a second. See, Trump, it's easy just to say, fuck it, I could do it in 24 hours. In 24 hours, we'll have everything back. And they're going to start manufacturing cars here in America. Well, we do manufacture cars in America, just not the number of cars that are being manufactured, whether it's in China or Mexico or Canada or wherever. All right? They have their plants already established. They're producing, and some of those cars are coming here. So when he says that he's going to build, or that these companies are going to build, this isn't like opening up a phone center or a Google center where you're just basically loading the place up with programmers and computers and desks and chairs. That takes a year. So imagine how long it's going to take to build an entire assembly factory. And under the way that America ends up doing things is you got to get this approval, you got to get that approval. But don't worry. Trump said, we will push it through quickly for you. You know what that means? That means there's going to be a lot of cost cutting. There's going to be a lot of corner cutting, and the machinery probably won't even work. There's guardrails that are put up here. And that's the whole point. There are guardrails. Fine, build plants here. No problem. Like what Joe Biden wanted to do. Build manufacturing, build chips plants. Sure. But you got to do it in a way that when the plant is finally open, that it's profitable and that the machinery operates the way it's supposed to. Otherwise, what are you doing? We're just bullshitting ourselves. So now your cars are going to be more expensive. Why? Because aluminum and steel and everything else coming in. What if the leather, hypothetically, is coming in from Argentina? What if the leather is coming in from Mexico? Now you have additional tax on that. What about the aluminum or the steel that's used for the chassis or for the doors or what have you? What about the plastics? All of that is going to be taxed. And again, when Ben and I kept saying it again and again and again and again and again, the consumer is the one who will ultimately pay the price. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. We're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.